Try to put myself back in there. Hello, Facebook and YouTube followers. Glad to see you. It's only been 45 minutes since my last broadcast. However, I try to get on here and try to highlight Black businesses. We kind of know what happened with that. The business that I was highlighting didn't show up. So, if you look back at my previous YouTube, you'll see that I'm telling you not to support that particular business because anybody don't appreciate our dollars, I don't recommend. But tonight, we're here to talk about racism. Being that Black Lives Matter is out here, and Black Lives Matter mean a lot of many of things. It's more than just it's racism, but it's more than just racism. It's talking about giving us opportunity, equal opportunity. Now, when we talk about racism, and for this episode too, I want people to write in. And if you want to join me on screen, just put in the comments you want to join me on screen, and I'll be more than glad to send you a link. Don't be shy. I'm gonna turn this down. But when we talk about Black Lives Matter, we want an opportunity. And opportunity consists of racism. What do racism exactly mean? I had this talk with someone that he wasn't of color, he was a white person, and said, do you think Black people could be racist? Okay, my opinion is Black people can be prejudiced, and some Black people are prejudiced. But to be racist, we have to have power. And that's one thing we don't have. This is a white man's world. They have the power. We don't have the power. So oppressing people because of the color of their skin, whether they're Black, yellow, whatever color, a non-white person. If you oppress them and you have the power to oppress them, that's racism. So let's get that clear. We cannot, well, as far as I'm concerned, we cannot be racist because we don't have any power. We don't have the power they have. They could keep us from getting jobs, promotions, housing. They stop us. They could stop us from getting loans at banks. There's plenty of things that they could stop us doing. That's racism, to hold someone down for the color of their skin. Is it right? No. And like I say, I'm just my opinion. If anybody want to write in the comments, feel free to write. I won't show who you are. If you want to come on and challenge anything or want to add to it, come on. But in the meantime, I seen this good link that shows about racism, and I'm going to show it. It was a link that was on Facebook. One moment. Oh, by the way, I did a broadcast last night because it was the 4th of July. I thought it was fascinating that there's a Juneteenth flag. I didn't know about it. I don't know if you did. I'm gonna I'm going to share my desktop with you a minute to show you the flag. I know I'm getting kind of off topic, but I just thought this was so amazing. So I'm going to share this. And I'm going to explain this flag to you real quick, because I don't know why we haven't seen this flag. Why? Okay. Okay, this is the Juneteenth flag. Now, I would like to get this flag. If anybody know where this flag could be obtained, I want to fly this flag on my patio. Okay, this is the star. I'm going to explain this to you. And if you looked at me last night, you already know, but be patient. Some of us didn't hear it. Okay, the star in the middle is for Texas because, you know, they didn't hear about slavery ended until it was, I don't know if it was 1 year, 2 years. It was a while. They were the last ones to hear about slavery ended, and that was in Texas. So they left the star because we all know Texas, the lone state that represents Texas. This big nova here, which is a burst, is like spreading out the knowledge that all the slaves in the whole 50 states knew about freedom. And also, it was to let everybody know it's a new beginning, a new beginning. Okay, this horizon right here means opportunity, new opportunity over the horizon. So we thought, so that's what this arch right here means. The color white, red, and blue represent the American flag. And that's because we're all Americans. And the slaves are African American people at that time. They wanted to be part of the system. They wanted to be part of America. Why not? We built this country, so we are Americans. And I had a comment yesterday talking about the colors green, red, and black. You know, that's a symbol. We use it for Black power, but the real meaning is it's more of showing our African heritage. So I just wanted to get that out there. Okay, so I'm going to show this clip about racism and how the American government put racism in place for us. And of course, when I talk about this, I'm not talking about everybody. We have some good people here, and we have people that, you know, want everything for themselves. So everybody is not the same. Okay. So listen to this.
So why are people still upset? We're going to go through history and we're going to look at some data, and we're going to go quickly so this video doesn't get too long. So hang on. These are two households in America. One is black, the other is white. Today, the average black household has 60% of the income of the average white household, but only 1/10 of the household wealth. Why does that matter? Well, household wealth helps send kids to school, helps launch small businesses, stabilizes loss of income, and helps families survive catastrophic events like divorce or unemployment. What's amazing about this number is that there are lots of extremely wealthy African Americans, movie stars, pop stars, 75% of the NBA, 70% of the NFL, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Ben Carson, Morgan Freeman, and there are a lot of extremely poor white families. Think of Appalachia and other parts of rural America. But even when we factor all that in, the average black household still has only 1/10 the wealth of the average white household. How did that happen? Well, here we go. What happened after we freed the slaves, after the Civil War ended? 9 states enacted vagrancy laws, making it a crime to not have a job. The law was applied only to black men. 8 of those states then allowed prisoners, the black men who'd just been arrested for not having a job, to be hired out to plantation owners with little or no pay going to the prisoners themselves. So that's right. Men who had been freed from the plantations found themselves right back on the plantations. Additional laws prohibited mischief and insulting gestures, which allowed more black men to be arrested and created a huge market for convict leasing. Working conditions for these leased convicts could be worse than slavery because the plantation owner leasing the black prisoner had no long-term interest in his well-being. By the turn of the 20th century, every state in the South had mandated racial segregation by law, Jim Crow laws, which supported a social ostracism for blacks that extended to schools, churches, housing, jobs, restrooms, hotels and restaurants, hospitals, prisons, funeral homes, morgues, and cemeteries. White politicians competed with each other to be more strict and specific on segregation. For example, a law prohibiting blacks and whites from playing chess together. No interracial chess playing. That might lead to lawn darts. In 1896, the Supreme Court ruled that these Jim Crow laws were perfectly legal because they, quote, reflected customs and traditions and, quote, preserved public peace and good order. These laws stayed in place until 1954, when the idea of separate but equal was struck down in the ruling known as Brown versus Board of Education. So what happened next after Brown? Well, in 1956, the Southern Manifesto was signed by 101 out of 128 Congress members from the South, pledging to maintain Jim Crow by all means possible. 5 states passed nearly 50 new Jim Crow laws after 1954. Private whites-only schools, dubbed segregation academies, popped up all across the South, many of them Christian. But now widespread civil rights protests, combined with anti-war protests that were occasionally becoming violent, inspired the political rise of law and order rhetoric. Richard Nixon became the first candidate to campaign specifically on a platform of law and order. In 1968, 81% of Americans agreed that law and order had broken down in this country, and the majority blamed communists and Negroes who start riots. Let's go back to household wealth. The average black household has 1/10 the wealth of the average white household. Why is that? Because the number one source of intergenerational wealth in America is home ownership. And from the 1930s to well into the 1960s, the federal government enacted policies to actively encourage white families to own homes and discourage black families from doing the same. In 1934, the Federal Housing Administration created a risk rating system to determine which neighborhoods were safe investment for federally backed mortgages. Black neighborhoods were deemed too risky, marked off in maps with red ink, in a practice now known as redlining. After World War II, a boom of new suburban housing was built all over the country, much of it restricted by deed to whites only. In 1948, 40% of new housing developments in Minneapolis, for example, had covenants prohibiting purchase by African Americans. So blacks couldn't live in white neighborhoods and couldn't get federally insured loans for black neighborhoods. Until 1950, the Realtor's Code of Ethics specifically prohibited selling a house in a white neighborhood to a non-white family. You could lose your realtor's license if you helped a black family buy a home in a white neighborhood. A bizarre twist, we also militarized our police forces between...
Okay. I just wanted to give you a snippet of that to see how we cannot be racist because we don't have the power to be racist. And that's a good video. I encourage you also to go back, and it's just a little bit more, but I didn't want to stretch it out, so I didn't want to keep playing it. But it's on my Facebook page. If you know my Facebook page, it's on there. You can listen to the whole thing. But you know, as we talk about racism, we had another incident that I'm going to play you a video of, and it kind of disturbed me because we're out here fighting for Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a Black Lives Matter is a definite movement that is long in you know, overdue. It's a serious matter, and we take racism as a serious matter. But I want you to see this clip. And like I say, I encourage you, write in and let me know what you think of it. I'm going to wait and tell you what I think of it. Okay. Let me find this one. I had it plugged. Maybe I need to put on my glasses. Yeah, I can't see nothing unless I have my glasses. Okay. I'm ready to share my screen. Now, I know you've seen this about the couple that's charged with pointing a gun at a mother and a daughter. But watch this video.
So, violate a 15-year-old.
Okay.
No, I'm asking a question. She's a child.
She bumped into me when
So she did something wrong. She needs to apologize. If she did
this ignorant woman bumped into a 15-year-old.
Correct?
And you're on camera.
Okay.
You're feeling threatened.
Okay, well, go in.
No, Mom.
I got this.
You're blocking me from getting
No,
my
girl.
No, we weren't. No, we weren't. No, we weren't. You're ignorant.
Go ahead, call it.
No, we will. But you're not going to sit there and violate a 15-year-old.
She's ignorant.
Do it. bitch. Do it. Go ahead. Do it. I want you to do something.
She's very ignorant.
Dumbass bitch. Yeah, I said it. You say something, I'll beat your white ass. Yeah, oh, I will. Do something. Please put your
Do something.
hands up.
Do something.
Please.
Who the fuck do you think you guys
Oh,
are?
who do you
Who I think you are?
You calling her name?
Yeah.
She did nothing.
Yeah,
I didn't. I didn't.
No,
you didn't. You're very racist and ignorant.
You're racist because you're calling
No,
her
you
name.
bumped it. She bumped into
Why
me.
would you walk around calling white people
Why
racist?
would you bump into
You
her?
cannot just
Why
walk
would
around
you
calling
bump her?
white
Why
people
would you bump her?
racist. This is not that
Why
type
would
of
you
world.
bump her?
White people
Why
are
would you
racist.
bump her?
No one's
Why
racist.
would you bump her?
I
Why
care
did you
about
say
you.
sorry?
I care
Why
about
did you say
you.
sorry?
And I'm sorry if you
Why
had
did you
an
say
influence
sorry?
that made
If you
someone
bumped
make
into
you
her,
feel
why
like
did you
that.
say sorry?
No one is racist.
If you didn't do
I'm
anything, why
sorry
would
if
you do
you
that?
had something like that happen.
Ignorant. Ignorant.
Okay.
Very. Mom, watch.
Get the fuck away from me!
You gonna get on her face.
You ain't getting my fuck away. Get away.
Get
Get the fuck
the
away.
fuck
Get
back.
away. Get the fuck away. Are you gonna hit? You gonna shoot me? Get the fuck away. Oh! Get away. Call the cops right now. Call them.
Call the cops.
Get the fuck away.
Call the cops.
Get away. She got the gun on me.
Call them now.
With the car. Call them. I'm telling you. Get the
Call the cops.
Get the license plate. Get the license plate now. You were never about to hit me with the damn car.
Don't you
You about to hit me with the car? Don't you put the guns on me. Call Richard back up to the police. Call Richard back up here now.
I got it.
Don't you fucking jump behind
Oh,
my
no,
car.
I ain't jumping on your car. What you doing?
Fucking jump.
Mom, stop moving. Fuck back. Mom.
Get the fuck back. Back the fuck up.
You got this on video? Yes.
The police.
No. Mom, stop walking.
Hello, police. Call the police. Call the police. Call the police. You walking.
They pulled the gun out on her. These white people, they're so racist. They pulled a gun out on my mama, both of them. It was a white lady and a white man.
Okay. Now, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Please tell me. I have someone trying to get in, but for some reason it's not coming through. But I just want to know, what do you think about that? I'm gonna give you my opinion. I feel personally the whole situation could have been avoided. Do I think those people were racist? Personally, I didn't see racism in that situation. But I'm going to tell you a discussion that I had with someone else that thought it was racist. And if you're looking, you could write in and say for yourself why you thought it was racism. Like I say, I won't show your face. But okay, the situation is they was at a Chipotle. And I guess the 15-year-old now, the looks and the sounds of this, the glimpse of this 15-year-old, she looked kind of big and bodacious. At least you got 15-year-olds these days, they just as tall as their mama. So, I'm not excusing nothing. I'm just saying 15 years old is not looking like they at your knees these days. Okay, so the lady apparently, whether she bumped into the girl or didn't, the girl perceived that she bumped into her going out the door. And I guess the girl got in her face and asked for apology. The lady didn't give her a per se apology. That's why they came out of Chipotle still fighting. And so finally, the two people got in their car, two white people got in the car, and the lady said out the window, she said, I'm not racist. If I bumped you or if something happened, I care about you. I don't know what she was talking about. Do she care about our cause or do she care about them particularly? I don't know what she was talking about, but she says, I care about you. And she said that, if you're hurt, I'm sorry, or something like that. But then it escalated because the mom and the mom told the girl, look, I'll handle it. And personally, I feel a 15-year-old, I'm gonna fight with the adults. My child is, that's what she got. That's what they got me for. The mother told her, go sit down somewhere. But this 15-year-old was still up there, yada, yada, yada. And the mother out there saying bitches and whatever. Not to say who's right or who's wrong, but I'm just saying what I see. The mother up there, oh, you ain't gonna give her apology. Well, really, in the United States, you don't have to give anybody apology. In any country, you don't have to give. It would have been a correct thing, whether she hit the girl or not, to say, oh, well, I'm sorry. But she didn't. So you can't just demand an apology and be all up in somebody's face. And another thing, I just wonder, now, if that couple was Black and, passing by, it was a little knock or whatever, would the mother have been all in their face if they was Black? I don't know, because that didn't happen, but I don't believe so. I really don't believe so. I think it would have been like, oh, well, she's rude and you may say something under your breath or so the lady could hear, but I don't think it would have been no, oh, MF and bitches and all this stuff. I really don't believe that. Okay, so that's what happened. And as you see, when they was getting ready to leave, the mother ended up somehow behind the car and she hits the car. And it's not clear enough to me to know if she hits the car because she thinks she's going to be run over. I don't know why she's behind the car in the first place, but I don't know if she hit it because she's trying to stop him thinking she's going to be run over, or she hit it because she's mad and she don't give a damn. I don't know. I don't think she should have been behind there anyway. The guy, they leaving. Why get behind their car? I just don't comprehend that. And, then the girls start yelling, you racist, you racist. Now, see, this is where I get kind of disturbed at. And like I say, write in the comments, please, if you have a different opinion. I'm not going to show your face, but I would definitely talk about it. I'm open to show it. But okay, she says you racist, you racist. How is that racist by bumping into somebody? I mean, you wasn't oppressed. You wasn't. I mean, I don't see how you could yell racist. Now, what I personally say, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but this is my personal 2 cents, and I'm just chatting about it, and it's my channel, so I'm giving my 2 cents about it. I think the lady wanted her little 15 minutes of fame. Of course, she done lawyered up, and the white couple have got charges against them for pointing the gun, because I don't condemn. Now, she definitely shouldn't have came out with the gun. That's why everybody do not need guns, because you have to think about controlling your temper and keeping cool, because a gun is a serious thing. A gun could kill somebody. And in that situation there, you see the lady was definitely unstable. She was shaking and crying. She had got to that point. Now her husband got out the car and, he had the gun down, but he just wanted to show it, like, okay, you mess with me, this is what you're going to get. Okay. But the lady, she's shaking and all that. Now, this situation could have easily turned into a bad situation. She could have accidentally pulled the trigger. I mean, how many times have we known that kids get a hold of guns and accidentally pulled the trigger by mistake. So then it would have been a fatality. So it could have easily got out of hand. I do have a comment here. Okay, this is someone that says the whole situation was escalated and to the point that it should have not gotten it. I agree with that too. It definitely got taken overboard. I mean, enough that you point a gun at somebody, you know, that's why she got arrested, because you just can't go out and point a gun at anybody. Now, you know, the headlines read, a gun pointed at mother and child. Okay, well, like I say about this child was all up in somebody's faces. And you know, the man didn't even say anything, because he know if he laid a hand on a woman, he's definitely gone to jail. I mean, that would have been it for him, especially in this atmosphere. And he laid a hand on a woman, and especially a 15-year-old that's all up in his face. Okay. That wouldn't happen. So, you know, he's standing there and he puts his wife in the car, and the mother goes up and says, you say something. I'm going to beat your ass too. Now, okay, was that called for? And I still wonder if these people was black, would this had happened? But on the flip side, I'm going to be the devil's advocate. Why did the white people think that, okay, it was words exchanged, but did they think their life was in danger, that they pulled out a gun? I don't know. I mean, if it was a white mother and daughter doing the yakking and all up in the face, would a gun been pulled out? That's the flip side of it. I mean, we don't know. But I do know that there are some white people that's purely scared of us just because of our skin color. You know, you could call that racism. I don't think that's exactly racist. I think that's more of prejudice and just assuming we are violent people and there's something that we're going to do that a white person wouldn't do. You see a white person walking down the street, or a bunch of white boys walking down the street, and say, I'm a white lady. I don't think she's grabbing her purse, moving to the side, or, you know, want to walk across the street just because they white. But if they black, I've seen it a couple of times. Is that racism? I don't know what you call it. But what makes me mad about this episode right here is because we're trying to show that Black Lives Matter. To me, Black Lives Matter is a different movement than this what happened right here. Because this what happened right here was totally uncalled for. I mean, you know, someone knocked into you. Just because they white, it could have been by accident. And so she didn't apologize, but she did say, I care for you and I hope you're not hurt. I mean, nobody has to apologize to you. Really, nobody has to. But, you know, for the sake of keeping stuff down, I mean, she said that. Maybe they were looking for, I'm sorry. Really, I think they was looking for just what they got. A video that's spreading around the internet, and hopefully they want to get some money and sue and yada, 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 you know. But in the meantime, now, I don't know if this is true. I had heard that the man lost his job over this. I don't know if that's true. That's what somebody had responded on Facebook, that he lost his job. Now, if he did, I find that very unfortunate for the fact that, okay, yeah, you pulled out the gun. Now, he didn't exactly point it. His wife did. He shouldn't have pulled out the gun, but then somebody banging on the back of your glass. I mean, let's face it, if it was me, I probably would have pulled out a gun, because you got two people that's, like I say, I don't know how big this 15-year-old is, but she all up in the face like she's a grown person, and his mother saying she gonna beat some ass, and people are crazy today. I think if I had a gun, which was sitting right here in my little console, I probably just would have had to go fight my charges. I mean, I'm not saying I'm more cooler. You know, it takes a lot to get me kind of upset. So I definitely wouldn't have pulled the trigger, but I think I would have been like the man to definitely show. Now, you know, if you want to start some shit, you know, you just start some. But at the same time, I definitely would have called the police, because if the people were smart, what they should have did when she went up to the man saying that, what you got to say? I'll kick your ass too. That's a terroristic threat. People know your rights. And I'm talking about people of color, you know, because they always get us on this, you know, so Spanish, Dominican, whatever you are, Black, know your rights. If somebody say they're going to kick your ass or somebody push you or something, you got a right to demand when that police come that they get arrested because you want to press charges. So that's what they should have did. Call the police and said, she made a terroristic threat toward me. And then when the lady jumped in the back of the car, of course you can't move your car because you don't want to run her over. You know, you also have kidnapping because you can't go nowhere. She's standing in the back of your car. You don't want to run her over. So that's kidnap. That's another charge. See, you know, a lot of these problems will be solved if you know, I know the police have their problems right now, and definitely Black people do not want to see the police because we know when it all boils down to, you don't know what you're going to get. There are some good police out there, and there's some that will put you in a chokehold, won't ask no questions. They drive up and they see it's a Black person and a white person. You know who's going to jail or who's going to be handcuffed until they find out the story. So you definitely, you know, as a person, you know, Black person, you definitely don't want to involve them if you don't have to. But before you pull out a gun on anybody and, you know, possibly shoot somebody, please call the police. Okay, I got someone that's trying to get in. Can't see your face. I don't know if you can hear us. Or can you talk? Hello. Unmute your mic at least. Okay, well, I think you gotta figure that out on your end because I'm pressing to admit you in, but your camera, and I see that you're on mute. So in the meanwhile, I'm just gonna say something. If we have any more comments on this situation, I would like to hear your take on it because, you know, I'm for my people out there, but I'm also for right. And like I say, Black Lives Matter is about us not having opportunity. The cops are killing us and people act like it doesn't matter, which our lives do matter. So this situation right here is not a situation of Black Lives Matter. In fact, situations like this where you following behind somebody just to escalate something, to me makes it worse because you're giving people the idea that we're starting trouble now. You know, we're starting. We're not starting nothing. We're out here just trying to get a piece of the pie. Like I say, we built this nation. We built the White House that the president is sitting in. We built most of the inventions that you're using today. We was promised 40 acres and a mule, and we haven't got zilch. So, you know, it's a very serious situation to accuse people of being racist when, you know, I don't know what's going to happen when the trial come out and they see the video. I know if I was the judge, sure, you shouldn't have pulled out a gun, but, you know, the only time that you can pull out a gun is if you feel threatened and you defending yourself. Now, for the fact that lady bashed on that guy's window, did they feel threatened? I mean, you didn't see the other other party have a gun, but do you know? I mean, people have guns in their waistband. People have guns under their coat. I mean, you backing up. You don't know what people have. So it's gonna be interesting if they get off or not. I don't know. But okay. I was looking for it. So any more comments that any of you had out there in YouTube land to see what your take is on this, or what you feel about racism in general? Have you experienced racism? I mean, let me know. Call in. My person that's trying to get in, I do not know what's going on.
Carol.
Okay, I see. Okay, you unmuted, but can you do your camera?
I could hear you.
I can hear you also, but I need your camera to show.
I don't want to be on camera.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you watched the broadcast?
Yeah, I did watch it.
Okay, so what do you think? And if you have a phone on, can you turn it off because you got an echo? Either turn it off or take it far away from your computer.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. Okay,
Yeah.
What do you think? First of all, the definition that I said was racism, with oppressing people for the color of their skin. Do you agree with that or not?
I do agree with that. First, with the story, I seen the video, and I think that woman, I don't know her name, but the black woman and her daughter, I think she was seeking attention. I think she was doing just too much. Mm-hmm. It could have been de-escalated. I don't think she should have been behind that woman's car, and because you never know how someone is going to react at the end of the day, so
Agreed.
She could have just said, hey, I want my apology, and if she didn't, oh well, just back up. Mm-hmm. And you can't, and that woman, she could have just felt threatened. You like I said, you never know. So yeah. I think, and then the first video she didn't even show that whole video. She just showed that lady pulling a gun up on her. So that's why I was like, okay, this Shaniqua, however I don't know her name, but I'm gonna call her Shaniqua. She wanted attention, and it was wrong. She should never did it. I just don't think. And then again, I don't condone that lady pulling the gun, but again, you don't know how people is going to react.
I agree, because she had her husband, but clearly her husband didn't jump in the middle of a lady's fight, which he should.
No, he didn't. Right.
Okay, so he was correct. And the mother came up to him, told him she gonna beat his ass and stuff, So it was like they was taunting them, they was really taunting them. And so being that, okay, you a wife, you the only lady, the white lady. And I said this too. Now, like I say, somebody else, when I discussed this, they used they said they didn't think it was on the black people because they said she pulled out a gun. But I'm telling you, I mean, I do have a gun, and if two people gonna double team me, because your husband cannot jump in it. If two people gonna double team me, I don't care. I'll go to court and I'll explain later. But yeah, I'm gonna pull out that gun. Like I say, I won't shoot, and I wouldn't be all nervous. I think she was all nervous because generally white people, for whatever reason, now this is the part of being prejudiced, they are scared of black people.
Right, they are. Yeah.
So, but I'm saying, if the same situation with me being black and them being black, if the two people had tried to gang up against me, I'm not gonna stand there and get my ass beat. I'm gonna pull out my gun too and be like, okay, what the hell you want to do? But like I said, also, I would have called the cops way before it even got to that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I would have called the cops. And so that's where they went wrong at. We have another comment. I gotta put on my glasses. And this person says, no matter what happened, the white couple should not have pulled the gun on them, which, I kind of agree. Okay, you can't take the law in your own hands. Another thing, we didn't see the entire video, so we don't know the whole situation. Okay, okay, I'll answer that and you tell me your take on it when you come on. But okay, you're not supposed to pull a gun out unless you feel your life is threatened. Like I said, far as I'm concerned, my life would be threatened because clearly you're not letting me out this parking lot because you're standing behind the car. I can't run you over. You done bammed on my windowsill. There's crazy people out here. I feel my life is threatened. So that's where some of you black people go wrong when them people get off talking about stand your ground, even though a lot of that stand your ground is bullshit. We all know. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna stand there and get my ass beat. It's 2 against 1. I'm not standing there and get my ass beat. You got to use reasonable force. And I don't know what this lady is in back of my car. I can't see what she got. She could have went to her car because the daughter was standing on the side. And I know we didn't see the whole video, but we seen enough. They explained it in the video. You hit my daughter, you need to give her apology. I don't see what else we missing. Clearly the 2 black people could have walked to their car and got in their car. Like I said, nobody have to give you an apology. They could have walked to their car, or they could have stayed in the restaurant and ate their food or whatever, or stayed in the restaurant until these white people left. Or even if you want to call the white people a bitch, you hit my daughter, you motherfucker, whatever. Okay, say that and keep it moving. You don't have to be all up in the face. I'm gonna beat your ass too. What you gonna do? I don't know what you're looking for, but to me, that's my opinion. You come up in my face and I feel threatened, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get home to my family the next day. I'll settle it all in court later, But like I say, I would have called the police. That's okay. Now, my co-host, if you want to talk, you could go ahead and talk. I don't know if you could read the screen, but if you want me to read this person comment again, I will read it. Is she there? Look like she's back mute again.
Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So let's put it like this. Now, what if that woman, Karen, as they call her, she would have escalated the situation and shot and killed her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a situation where now you're going to court, and now the defense used the stand your ground law, like you said. Now the woman gets off because she quote unquote stood her ground. Now nothing was accomplished. Now you have a dead teen. Your daughter is dead because you want to sit up there and talk about, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to kick your ass. Come on. That's
yeah.
Great. It's unnecessary. She wasn't doing anything. She kept agitating the situation. Then you stand behind her car. At that point, I'm not going to sit up there. I'm going to do something drastic too because I feel like my life is in danger. Now I'm not going to pull out the gun, but I'm going to defend myself.
Mm-hmm. But you got 2 against 1.
Yeah.
So unless you're willing to go get pummeled by 2 people, because like I say, 15-year-olds is not knee high no more. So I don't know what exactly this 15-year-old looked like, but she was all up in the people's face too. So like I say, unless you want to get, and I don't think the law tells you can go get pummeled by these people, because 2 against 1, you definitely, your husband, he got a decent job. You don't want him fighting, and he shouldn't be fighting out there with 2 women.
Right.
So, you basically go on your own. So, what you gonna do? But let me ask you this. Do you think if the tables was turned and it was a black couple, do you think it would have escalated that far?
No, she wouldn't have even done. She would never done it. That I don't think she would have did what she did.
I don't think so either.
I think she would have been much more calmer and level-headed in that situation. But I think she took advantage of the situation that this was Black Lives Matter, because And the reason why I say that is because the first video that was released, it was like about 2 minutes. And she just showed her arguing with Karen. Like, it wasn't all of that. It was, she's yelling, the daughter screamed at her, said she's racist, and then she showed Karen pulling the gun. That was the first video. Then now the second video comes out and it shows everything that happened. Now, if you're not trying to seek attention, why not release the whole video on that first time you posted it?
Well, that's true, because they the one who took the video. So you're right. And you know, and the girl definitely had her camera out from when they was walking from the restaurant.
Yeah.
She was ready. I got another comment that someone agrees. They said sometimes you have to pick your battles, and this was not something that should have gotten this far. And I agree totally. I think this lady took advantage of Black Lives Matter movement, and you know, she done already lawyered up, and she's trying to put it on. They pulled a gun on my daughter. She ain't even really even saying her, because I seen they've got another tape with her and her lawyer. He's emphasizing she pulled it out on a 15-year-old. Okay, well, like I say, those 15-year-olds is looking me in the face.
Right.
You know, and your 15-year-old should have sat her butt down when you told her to get away. So I'm not feeling particularly sorry for this 15-year-old. You know. Yeah, but like I said, it's definitely racism in the country. Did you see the first video that I showed?
What first video?
The one that the man was a professor saying how racism, you didn't?
No, I didn't see that one.
Okay, well, that's a good, I'm gonna send it to you, because that's a good one too, showing how in this country, I mean, even from slavery, all the laws and everything was made to oppress us from day one. So definitely, the racism exists. Now, this was something, I'm gonna show you something last night. I don't know. I got another comment saying maybe I should invite the mother and daughter on the show to get their side of the story. I would be glad to if they wanted to, because you know, I don't back down from what I say. So, you know, I'd be glad to take both sides. If I knew how to get in contact with them, but both sides then lawyered up, so I doubt if they get on this little show to say anything. But anyway, at Stone Mountain yesterday, they had a march, and I don't know exactly who these people were, but I'm gonna show you it. I was surprised that I still haven't heard about it on TV, but it was a peaceful march. But I'm gonna try to pull that up. I gotta find it because I wasn't really ready to go back to that again. I showed this last night, and
just email it
to see what. Well, I kind of want everybody to see it too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me go back here and okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay.
Damn, bro, the hate is real.
This is up in Stone Mountain.
All these motherfuckers talking shit. These folks out here, you got so much shit to talk. Come out here and say it to these people's faces right here, man. Come out and say it to their face. We're in Stone Mountain right now. It's July 4th, 2020. Everybody's big and bad behind the fucking whatever keyboard. But come on out here. This is peaceful. Ain't nobody going in crazy, but the comments I just saw were wow, y'all, that's how y'all really feel. But the protesters, the fucking wherever the fuck they were, or peaceful. Oh yeah, they're peaceful. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is history right here. And if you don't like it, fuck you. Yeah, right there. Fucking bullshit ass cardinal right there. Tear that shit down. I'm so scared, boy. I get scared. Ain't no reason to be scared, man. We got kids out here. I don't know what the fuck.
You get sick to do, you can tell them about this shit, man. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here. Okay. What do you think of that? Did I stop it? What did you think about that one?
I don't really have no comment on that. I don't, I don't
It was
know.
right in Stone Mountain. I mean, I didn't see any. It was right in Stone Mountain. I didn't see any police, but then, of course, the police down here is quitting and protesting by not coming out. So, yeah, but they didn't have it on the news. I was shocked. Black people with guns and they don't have it on the news. I was shocked at that. But and some of our commenters, what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that's necessary? Do you think they have a right to do that? Personally, I gave you my opinion last night. They do have a right because we also see white people holding their guns and having theirs out. So they definitely have a right. Now, all the ninja get up and stuff, to me, if I seen that and I didn't know who the heck it was, I didn't know what their purpose was, and I just seen that, if I was walking the mountains and just seen that coming to me, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what I said. They have a right to do it. I don't know. I'm kind of neutral because I'm like, they have a right to do it and bear arms. But then again, I'm like, well, why are you doing it? Because it's really like your life isn't in danger. That's what I'm saying. You're marching, you're protesting. So I don't know.
Well, okay, that's how I felt yesterday. I felt like if you're going to do that, why don't you go in our neighborhoods where the blacks are killing us and police our own neighborhoods? Kind of like the Black Panthers back in the day. They really took more care of their own community. But we have these cops coming in there, and like I said, I say it's good and bad cops. But we have these cops coming in there that don't know how to deal with people that's not their color, and they prejudice and they come in and abuse us. So, to me, a viable option is go into the neighborhoods and start, patrolling our own neighborhoods so that we wouldn't have all that, crime. I mean, white people have crime too, but they take care of themselves. But we talking about the Black Lives Matter. So that's how I feel about that. Now, okay, my next question, I don't see any new comments, so I'm guessing everybody agrees with that too. My next comment is, what do you think about these monuments, these Confederate monuments? Do you think they should be taken down and destroyed, or what do you think should be done to it?
That's another one that kind of, I don't subscribe to symbolic stuff because my thing is, on one hand, it's not really saying anything because whether it's there or not, racism still going to exist. It's still going to happen. And my thing is, it's a part of history, no matter how bad it is. And you want to remind your children and your family that this is what happened in America. So history won't repeat itself. So
I agree.
that's
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I think I don't care whether the statues stay up because, tell you the truth, I didn't read half of them anyway. Um, I think the shame of America should be, you know how when a dog do something, you put his face in it and to teach him a lesson. I think that's what needs to be done. I think they shouldn't take Gone with the Wind off the air because we want to see how cruel our people was taught. I think that's what's wrong with a lot of the young Black people, and I say people of color because I mean, you know, they have racism too. I mean, but right now, my Black Lives Matter. But I'm just saying, if you don't know your history, you will repeat it.
Yeah.
And these young people that haven't experienced that, they think, oh yeah, it's kumbaya, you know, until something happened and the white friend that they thought was their white friend is like, you ain't on my level, you know. So I definitely think that it needs to stay. What I would like to see more of, you know, I'm proud of Black Lives Matter right now. I'm proud of the young people, but let's get these laws changed. Let's get, I mean, I'm for reparations. Like I said, our ancestors built this country. I think we need to be fighting for, you know, laws and opportunity and reparations. You know, I really don't care about no statue.
Yeah, I agree.
So we don't have any more comments right now, but I'll come on again and thank you for showing up and saying what you got to say. We do have a comment. It says they was protesting to have the right of the carvings to be removed on the mountain. So that was the protest. Okay. I didn't see any signs, but I guess if they was holding their guns, they couldn't carry signs. But like I said, you know, I'm just saying. But like I say, I just think it's more important stuff we need to worry about. I think they should be marching on DC or marching to the Capitol, and let's get these laws changed. I mean, you could take down every statue and every carving, and we still have most of our people in jail because they want slave labor. You know? So anyway, thank you. And we done went an hour. I didn't mean to go an hour, but we went an hour. And so there'll be other topics. I'm glad you joined me. And you have a good night, and I'll see you later.
All right, good night.
And remember, if you like this channel, please not only subscribe, check on the notifications so you'll get notified whenever I come on again.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.